Okay, interesting story here now that you brought it up. Yeah, LBJ, obsessed with his his manhood. And he liked to unzip his trousers and fling that thing out for the world to see. He'd show it off to the secretaries, staff members, senators, congressmen, ambassadors. Right? Well, summer of '69, this comes to my attention. Now, I was asked by the White House ghost if I could handle this situation, get this knucklehead to stop flinging out his pee-pee for everyone to see. So I go into the Oval Office, just float in. They don't see me, but I see them. And I see him. He's off in the little bathroom that connects to the Oval Office, taking a leak. Door open. Saddle horn flapping in the wind. He's talking to Dean Russ. And he's like, hey, Dean, you ever seen a rooster? Well, that wasn't his word, but a rooster as big as this one? And at this point, I take a look at it. And I'm thinking, okay. Now, LBJ, he's 6'3", 210 pounds. So it was proportionate to his size. But I realized I got a good 2 inches on him. And I don't mean this because I'm 6'5", you know what I'm saying? That's when, the gears start going off my head. I know how to handle this situation. So, later that night, I appear before him just before he goes to bed and goes, Lyndon, you have ashamed yourself in the office of the presidency, exposing your genitals to everyone. You think yourself a big man? Well, be humbled by this. At this point, I drop my trowel, flung out my log so he can see it. Realize he's not as big as he thinks. So he just sort of grins and he gives me that Texas draw. Well, now, spooky? No, I'm bigger than you. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? No, you're not. But at this point, I disappear, right? I can only appear before people for limited amounts of time. So anyway, next night I come back and I'm determined to show this guy that his little Texas Sidewinder is not as long as the Springfield Serepent. So I show him again. He goes, no. You're just a figment of my imagination. Abraham Lincoln didn't have a schlong that big. I'm like, I am Abraham Lincoln. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this kept going on night after night. I would show up, show him that I am bigger than him, but he would deny it. He'd come up with all sorts of excuses like, well, I was infused with hellfire, so that's why mine was hanging out lower, whereas he was in the cold, real world, so it shriveled up things a bit. Or I had some kind of shape-shifting abilities as a ghost. So this goes on for a good month until one night a very tired ladybird yells at us, knock it off, you knuckleheads. How about we get a tape measurer and settle this nonsense once and for all? And that's what we did. We broke out a tape measurer and we placed a bet. I said, hey, if I'm bigger than you, Lyndon, you got to stop showing your tallywhack for everyone. He said, okay, well, if my longhorn is longer than yours, you got to leave me alone. So what happened? I'll put it to you this way. I'm just not a champion here. I was a champion there.